12 months in the year, and when we are fertilized in our mother's womb, we complete 2/3 of our journey before the construction of the body is completed and before we come to this earth through a process called birth. That is 3/4 of the 12 months, that is 9 solar months or 10 lunar months. In between exists the period of our existing in the mother's womb, and the moment we are born and come to this earth, there are still 90 degrees to be completed, and each day is multiplied by 360 days. So we have about 90 days to complete the 1/4 of the circle still. These 90 days are translated into 90 years of our span, and this is our probable span after we come to this earth. So one day will be expanded into 1 year. This is the reason why the astrologer uses the method of progression for prediction, and this change should be reversed. That is, instead of one day expanding into 1 year and having 90 years instead of 90 days for our progress in evolution, the 90 years progression should be reverted into 90 days. That is the purpose of our practice. The practice of Kriya Yoga or the practice of the eightfold yoga path of Patanjali is to shorten the period of our evolution. In nature it is lengthened because we have much to practice. We have many complexes to break. The chicken has many shells to break before it comes out. So for this purpose we are given the cycle of births and deaths, and in each birth nature helps us to complete 3/4 of the circle in a speedy way, but it cannot help us during the next 1/4. It has to expand the path at the rate of 1 year for 1 day. And once again we have to understand the path of the zodiac, and through this way of meditating we will reverse the wheel. Some of you might have read the book Esoteric Astrology by Alice Bailey. There is what is called the reversing of the wheel. It is very, very difficult to understand it from that book, for the simple reason that Alice Bailey did not know any astrology at all, and the master who dictated the book, he had to dictate through her, and her intellect was not equipped with the astrological aspect. She had to mechanically copy down what the master dictated. The result is, it is very, very difficult for the student to understand the book. There are many places where the reversal of the wheel is described, but we are not made to understand what it means exactly. It means the same thing which I described now, and we go to the next step. Here ends the practice of the zodiac, but there is some information given to us by way of knowing and practicing. We are expected to know the law of alternation. See how the day alternates with the night, how night alternates with the day, and how wakeful state alternates with sleep, how sleep alternates with wakeful state, how life alternates with death, how death alternates with life. Without this alternation there is no duration, which we call the span of life. See how our inhalation alternates with exhalation, Unless there is this alternation of inhalation and exhalation, there is no respiration and there is no possibility of span of life. Continuity is possible only through alternation. Without alternation, there is no continuity in anything. If you observe how electric current is produced, it is produced only through alternation. And if you understand how electromagnet is working, how the dynamo is working, or how the atom is working, how the isotopes in the atom are working, how the earth with its two poles is working, you will understand that alternation is an inevitable law. Unless you close the eyes, you cannot open the eyes and see the world. Suppose you practice opening the eyes without closing. The result is within 2 or 3 days, the sight will be damaged and you cannot see anything. Suppose you close your eyes and do not see anything. After a few weeks, you cannot open. You will develop photophobia. So, law of alternation is the cause of what we call the duration and the continuity of life. So, you are expected to meditate upon this fact and know the real meaning of day and night. See how the water of the earth is evaporated and pulled to the sky. From the day sun enters Capricorn, that is December 22nd, see how the direction of the earth begins to change. How the sun appears to take the northern journey. How the water of the earth begin to get purified. They leave all their impurities here and go as clouds. And in summer, how the clouds form and come down as pure water in rains from June 22nd. So, how the half year works as the upward journey of water and the other half year works as the downward journey of water. This is also according to the law of alternation. The year has two halves. The month has two halves. That is the increasing moon and the decreasing moon. And the day has two halves. So, you understand the correspondences and meditate upon them until you understand the following secret, which is given only in Bhagavad Gita and nowhere else. During the day, you are wakeful to the outer world, objective world. So during the day, you are having objective consciousness. During the night, you are having sleep. There is subjectivity, but there is no consciousness. No one of us knows what sleep is, because only after waking up we understand that we have slept. During sleep, we never understand that we are sleeping. If we understand that we are sleeping, that means we are not sleeping. So we do not know what sleep is. But after practicing the yoga and making the sacrament of the zodiac, you will know the art of withdrawing the senses into the mind and awakening to the Lord inside. So, you will be sleeping to the environment, awakened to the subjective activity. So, this becomes your night and this becomes your day. This is what is mystically described in the Bhagavad Gita. It is said in the following way: that which is day to the ordinary man is the night to the yogi. That which is night to the ordinary man is the day to the yogi. What does it mean? We are wakeful to the mind and senses. So, the mind and the senses are our day. We are not wakeful to the Lord inside. So, that is our night. But after practicing yoga, we are waking up into the Lord consciousness. So, where the ordinary man has darkness, you will have your light. And where the ordinary man has light, that is the objective consciousness. Where he is very active and busy, where he is very careful about his money and everything, where he is very much worried about his lunch and dinner, where he is worried about his own housing and living, where he is too busy throughout the day having no rest at all, earning more and more money to make himself happy. Unfortunately, not having time to be happy, because the fellow is too busy and has no time to be happy, though he is earning money to be happy, and the fellow dies in his own busy way of living, and only during the last moments he realizes how foolish he is. That is, he worked in order to be happy, and he worked in such an idiotic way that he kept no time to be happy, and now he has learnt his lesson, but dying, began to build his house when there is an earthquake. So better luck next birth. So we are saved from this foolishness. You will begin to be happy. Other things take their own course. You will be working your own work. Your dinner and lunch comes to you, and you will sit under a tree and begin to do what is expected of you. People come to you because they want you. Therefore, they prepare a house for you because they cannot sit under the tree with you. This is the change which takes place. Unless you know this secret, however intelligent you are, however meritorious you are, however rich you are, however many your bank balances may be, you have to live like a dog, hunted by fears, bound by chains by your desires, and you have to die a miserable death after living a continuous life of fears, every day thinking, how should I live tomorrow? What about this night? Where should we take our dinner tomorrow morning? So this fateful way of living will be changed. Things come to you. In the Bhagavad Gita, the ordinary man is described as a little poor lake which becomes empty when it is summer, whereas the one who practices yoga is compared with the ocean, into which the rivers come and pour themselves. The ocean never goes to the river. River comes to the ocean. You will develop the art of waiting, until which we have to live like dogs. This change takes place. Until that change takes place, we are only two-legged animals, and biologically we are human beings, but mentally we have not evolved to be human beings. The fellow who lives with fear for himself, the fellow who remembers what he wants, is only a biological two-legged being and not a human being. This is what is described in the Bhagavad Gita. And your consciousness should be distilled and filtered from the night consciousness to the day consciousness, from darkness to light. And there are many stages in this filtration. If our filtration belongs to the first stage, that is, if we filter only to a certain stage, whereas all the other 6 planes of our consciousness are not filtered, then we will go down to the same stage again in our next birth. The practice of this birth will never help us. Even though I know medicine or physics or chemistry in this birth, in the next birth I have to learn only from the alphabet again. If I know 100 languages in this birth, I should learn from the alphabet even one language in the next birth. Even though I may graduate or a postgraduate in this life, once again I have to join the school in the lowest class and study. That is what happens. So get purified in the second stage also. First stage is called the matter of the body. Second stage is called force. Third stage is called mind. And unless these are thoroughly purified, the process of our purification is incomplete. we come back to ignorance again in the next birth. And we have to go on purifying layer after layer of our consciousness until the biggest of the day of creation is understood. There is what is called the day of the Creator, which I will teach you one day. It will be most confusing if we teach the same thing today or same thing also today. But until we touch the light of the Creator in ourselves, until we reach the Lord consciousness, and until we are totally absorbed, we will come again into darkness in the next birth. But when once we touch the seventh plane of consciousness, called the Creator consciousness, or the Mahaparanirvana plane of consciousness, then we will never return to darkness once again. Whether we are in this body or out of this body, we remain in the same consciousness, because we are with the Lord. And when another body comes to us, we have no birth, because there is no birth conditioning. We have no childhood, because there is no ignorance. The same consciousness exists. Life becomes eternal, and there is no birth and death, though there are bodies coming and going. For example, if there is a necklace of pearls, every pearl has its own beginning and ending, but the string that passes through the pearls is continuous. Like that, your consciousness becomes continuous and eternal. Since your consciousness is one with the Lord consciousness, you have neither birth nor death, but bodies will be coming and going, and you have nothing to do for yourself, because you don't want anything. You have everything to do for this creation. That is what is given by the practice of occultism. This is the effect of the occultism of Kriya Yoga, and if you apply the zodiacal meditations also, the speed of evolution will be increased, and in one life the whole process of evolution is completed, and in a period of 10 years, so many years evolution takes place. So we have many tens of years in our span, completing the evolution in this life itself. We are expected to live an eternal life in the Lord, a divine life, a life of light without darkness, a life of joy without sorrow, because we have no enemy consciousness, we have no instinct of fear, we are not sorry for anything. So this becomes the span of life, and the purpose of evolution is finished. This is the goal of the occultism of the zodiac. Of course, there are many details that are to be learned personally. It is a science which should be practiced with a guru. A new dimension of astrology is to be learned from one's own guru personally. Of course, it is new to us, but the science is age old as humanity, and tested through thousands of years, and found correct by everyone who has seen through. And those who are intelligent cannot know this. Those who are enthusiastic cannot have this. Those who have a continuity of purpose and the maintenance of the enthusiasm, these two things are to be there. In Sanskrit, the two things put together are called Shraddha, which means devotion. It includes two things. One is continuity of purpose. Suppose today I begin to practice Kriya Yoga. Next year you ask me, how is it? I say, wonderful, many experiences. After 10 years you ask me, I say, no Kriya Yoga, I stopped it after 3 years. You ask me why? I said, I found nothing in it. I felt bored. In the meanwhile, I met another gentleman, Raymond. who wanted me to practice a new path. No, you ask me, are you practicing now? No, I practiced it for 2 years. And then I began to practice transcendental meditation. How do you feel, you ask me? It was good during the first few weeks, and afterwards I felt bored. So I began to practice the meditation of Sri Aurobindo. I traveled to Pondicherry. I have seen India and came back. Are you continuing Aurobindo's practice? No. Recently, what is the latest? You can ask. I say I had been to America under the spell of Bhagavan Rajneesh. Biogenetic dance. How many? How many days I continue? Even the Bhagavan cannot know it. So, such fellows, they die where they are, safe in the same state of evolution in which they are born, because they have no continuity of purpose. Everything is practiced for a mental disease which can be called curiosity. It is a mental itch, irritation of mind. Just as we have physical irritation and itching, we have also mental irritation and doing it. This is not a science for such great people. It is a science which requires continuity of purpose. Even after 25 years, you should be practicing the same thing, not mechanically, not with monotony, but with the same freshness and enthusiasm and joy with which you were doing in the beginning days. This is something about today's subject, and I thank you all for the patient hearing. Any relevant questions? Only one. Yes, but that is for those who want. That's not my headache, because I have enough headache. I have enough headache with faithful disciples. It is their headache. No, the practice causes the change of life. We need not have a change of life. We will be doing the same professions, but instead of the environment affecting us, we begin to affect the environment. That is what it takes. We have to face always the East. If it is typed and given to me by anyone, I can make it into a regular form and again return to those who are interested. Yes, that we are already doing for the past 1 year. Yes. If you have time, you can do this also.